Alrighty, even though the light's a little wonky here and it's hard to see, yes sirree Bob, that's a Qualcomm. Now there's different types of Qualcomms out here, but this is the MC2000 or whatever the hell you want to call it. This is the one our company uses, is one a lot of companies use actually. And each one of them comes with different features. Alright, so just sitting at the home screen, of course you can see my hand here and see the reflection, so it's really not going to show up too good here, and I apologize. But, I don't know. Anyway, so you got messaging, hours of service, which is for your e-logs, the login performance monitoring. You can, some companies, our company doesn't have it. I don't know why yet. They haven't bothered, but it's an extra subscription, that's why. Navigation, which would be like your GPS, telling your routing and showing mapping. You can actually do scanning on this. Media Manager, I'm not sure 100% because I can't even get into it. Trailer management, all that does is tell you what trailer you're on, and as you can see, I'm not connected to anything. Let's go back. You also have a web browser, so you can do internet stuff on these if your company does subscribe to it. Driver training, no idea. Vehicle maintenance, which would just give you your reminders, but our company doesn't have anything set up there. Oops, let's go back here. You have the alarm clock, which is useful. I've used it on several occasions. Mcp Training, which is how to use the Qualcomm. System stuff, settings, you'll never end up using that. Critical event reporting tells you about critical stuff. Games. Vehicle inspection, which is your VIR. It's mostly used for the US drivers, not the Canadian. Workflow, I have no idea. But like I said, the games you have, we have, it all depends what your company loads up, but we have Free Cell, Hearts, Minesweeper, Pinball, Solitaire, and Spider Solitaire. I know, exciting, isn't it? Okay. And then, of course, in the messaging, there are all the pre-canned messages that you have to, you know, get used to and whatnot. If we go to Compose, you have all your different pre-set up messages. So like if you just press one empty relay, let's say, you only have to fill out certain fields. All the rest of the writing's in there, so you don't have to fill that out. Just have to fill out the individual fields. Makes it much easier for sending the messages. Alrighty, so let's get back to this. So why is the Qualcomm important? Well, not necessarily for you as an individual. It's not an expense that you have to spend, so that's a good thing. A lot of companies are going to have Qualcomms, or different. There's different types out there. There's a couple of different manufacturers. Qualcomm is the one that Celadon happens to use, and who they're through. And there's, like I said, different types. There's older versions, newer versions. Like you can see, there's different things available that can be done on them. I hate to say it, Celadon's a little bit cheap when it comes to that. I believe the navigation is an important one that should be on there. I don't care who you are, what company you are. That is huge. That makes all the difference in the world, because it's programmed into the way you want your truck to go as a company, and you know, makes life so much easier. You would have much less problems with trucks going out of route if you just had that little thing on there. Okay, so getting to know the Qualcomm, getting to know how it's used, it is a very useful tool. Oh, I left my CB on. Just because it makes, let's say you have a question, you don't want to be bothered spending your time on the phone, whether it costs you money or whatever, your own personal use, just general questions. And what's nice is you stopped at a rest area and you want to type in hey, the shipper, will they, or the receiver, will they allow me to come in early? And you can type that in, free form, and then send it, and then just continue on driving, and your dispatcher will eventually get it. He can check it out, whatever, and he'll send you the message back saying, yeah, sure, no problem, you can go in early, or nope, they want you to come between these certain times, or it's a fixed appointment. So you have that information. You don't have to spend the time on a phone call. Your dispatcher will prefer it, because then they don't have to waste the time on the phone call, because it's actually quicker for them to do things via the computer. Okay? Now, Celadon's huge on the Qualcomm. They really don't want you to call. It's a little bit of a disconnect. Some guys don't like that. Some guys can't get used to it. It was a little tough for me to get used to, but I'm into it now. Like, whatever, you know what? If it takes you 2 hours to answer me on a critical question, well then, you know what? This load may be late, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Usually doesn't take that long, but I'm just saying, occasionally it does. Also, they can see the beginning part of the questions, and they can determine whether the question is important or not. So the best thing to do is, if it's an important question, make sure that, you know, important, need response ASAP at the very beginning, because that's what they see. They see the first few words in their subscreen, and then they can determine whether the message is important or not, right, and needs immediate attention. That's a big thing. So getting to know your Qualcomm is huge. Making it your friend is huge. And it is a very, very important tool, because a lot of times it's just information. It's all there for you. And you know, and if you have to go back on a load assignment, you can. If you missed something, you didn't write it down, you can go back, you can see it, it's there. All your load assignment information comes across through there. If you're having an issue, whether it be payroll or whatever, or they didn't do something, or the miles, whatever, if you do it through the Qualcomm, you have it there. It's there. And I know a lot of guys say, well, they can delete it and then say, oh, we never said that. Actually, it's, if there's like through Qualcomm, it's in the system, it's in the hard drive. They may be able to delete it off their computer, but it's not out of the system. It stays there for like 6 months. All of the information's there, so you can always go back and retrieve it. Okay, you can go through management and say, hey, I sent this message, and you know, now my dispatch is saying they never said this. Whatever. You know what? Upper management can get into the system and can find it. It may take a little bit, but they can find it. Okay, so it can be a saver also for you. Anyway, that's it. That's all on the Qualcomms. Get to know them. I think companies that have them, it's a bonus versus companies who don't have them. A lot of the smaller mom and pops don't have them. So, but anyway, yeah, I like the Qualcomm. Get used to it. It's part of your communication tools. Make it your friend. There you go.